Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we are walking through the exact deployment steps and really the everyday reality of running the Scrubs v2 add-on. If you've spent any time navigating the constantly shifting world of media center mods, you know exactly how tricky it can be to keep things running smoothly. So we've pulled the ultimate guide straight from Wireless Hack to show you exactly how this installation works from the ground up. Here is a quick look at our roadmap for today. We're going to cover what Scrubs v2 actually is, walk through the 3 phases of installation: source configuration, repository installation, and add-on deployment, before wrapping up with standard operating procedures and some real-world field reports. All right, let's jump right into part 1. What is Scrubs v2 and what are its core capabilities? The absolute most crucial thing to understand here is that this tool acts a lot like a Google search engine, but it's specifically targeted at free video streams. Scrubs v2 doesn't actually host any of the content you're watching. Instead, it aggressively scrapes the internet for publicly available links and compiles them into a nice playable list right on your screen. It is an aggregator, plain and simple. Now, this brings us to a major limitation you need to know about upfront. It strictly uses free links, meaning there is zero support for premium, paid link services. So if you're used to hooking up things like Real to Breed, All to Breed, or Premiumize to get those high-bandwidth stable links, yeah, Scrubs v2 is just not built for that. It's a strictly free link environment. But once you get it successfully deployed, the add-on is incredibly organized. You get this comprehensive internal directory structure. We're talking dedicated sections for movies and TV shows, integration with the TV Maze calendar so you can easily track air dates, plus a bunch of tool modules to really customize how it scrapes. Okay, moving right along to Phase 1, source configuration. This first sequence is all about navigating your core system settings to prep the environment for a new external source. From your main dashboard, you're going to want to hit that gear icon to get into system settings. Then, dive into the File Manager and click on Add Source. Finally, clicking where it says None basically opens the gateway so you can point your system directly toward the external repository. Now, precision is absolutely critical here. When you enter the repository URL, you have to type exactly https://jubmx.github.io. Once that is locked in, go ahead and name the media source, jubmx, so it's super easy to identify in the next phase. And please double-check your spelling here. A single typo means the whole deployment fails before it even starts. Which brings us to Phase 2, repository installation. First up, you'll need to confirm that your system permissions actually allow for unknown sources. This is just a standard security bypass required for any third-party deployment. So, navigate back to your main menu, hit Add-ons, and look for that open box icon at the top left. When you click Install from zip file, it's going to trigger a warning. You just need to select Yes to proceed. Next, select that jubmx source you just created. Inside, you want to click on the file named repository.jurepo.1.6.0 zip, or, whatever the absolute latest version number happens to be. Click that, and then you just hang tight and wait for the little pop-up notification in the top right corner, confirming that the repository has landed successfully. All right, we are in the home stretch. Phase 3, add-on deployment. Navigate back through the installer module, but instead of installing from a zip file this time, you are going to unpack the repository you literally just installed. So select Install from Repository, open up jurepo, and drill down right into that video add-ons directory. Finally, locate the specific Scrubs v2 add-on and initiate the installation. You just click it, hit Install, and let the system handle all the extraction and placement. Awesome, so it's installed. Let's talk about standard operating procedures regarding execution and troubleshooting. Because the system relies entirely on free public links, getting a stable connection is inherently a bit hit or miss. The documentation explicitly warns that you should expect to try 2 to 4 different links before you find one that actually plays without buffering. These links get heavy traffic and are constantly being taken down. You definitely need a healthy dose of patience here. So, what's it actually like out there? Let's look at some field reports and the current operational reality. We looked at 80 logged user comments from the Wireless Hack forum, and it gives us this fascinating, completely unfiltered look into the day-to-day reality of running a free link scraper. And honestly, the experiences are totally all over the map. On one hand, we have records of totally successful deployments. Users like Denise and a bunch of others chimed in to say the tool is pulling in links right when other popular add-ons are failing. So the architecture absolutely can and does work for some folks. But we have to be impartial here and note some severe operational failures. A huge portion of the user base echoes this sentiment, from Iggy G, calling it dead in the water. People are reporting spending 30 to 40 minutes just navigating menus, only to get failed to play errors, totally wrong episodes, or streams with literally zero audio. One recurring technical nightmare in these reports is the flood of non-functional rabbit stream links. Users are complaining that when they search, especially for TV shows, the scraper just gets hijacked by these dead rabbit stream or D0000D links, which ends up burying the legitimate playable sources. So what are the workarounds? Field-tested fixes include manually forcing the repository to update from the zip file. One user noticed they were stuck on an old version, and manually updating brought everything back. Another trick, try testing your connection with your VPN disabled. Some users found that suddenly populated their list with working streams. And honestly, multiple people pointed out that if you want a reliable stream, you kind of just have to accept standard definition instead of chasing after broken 1080p HD links.